Good morning. So we are continuing with the Uddhava Gita. This is from verse 44 onwards. But like I had told you that I'm going to give a small recap of verse 43 before I begin 44. So let me read the verse so that you get an understanding. The Brahmana said, "Neither is this body the cause of the pleasure or pain, nor the Atma, nor the gods, nor the planets, nor works, nor time. The only cause of pleasure and pain, the Shrutis declare, is the mind, which sets in motion the cycle of transmigration." This is a very important sentence. The reason why we all have rebirths, multiple rebirths, the only one singular reason is the mind. Now, today's entire explanation will be how the mind creates these transmigrations. Why is it that it is critical for everyone to control the mind? So in this verse, the Brahmana is saying, even in our scriptures, the scriptures are naturally telling us the truth because those are researched materials from the past by great sages and saints, and also some scriptures which have come down from the beginning of time, which we don't know much about. You can say as if they are the framework of our living, how we live in this world. So naturally they have been passed down or handed down from yugas. So there is no way of knowing right now. So let us look at it from this point of view, that the scriptures have given us some truth, and these truths have to be decoded. The first truth that he is talking about over here is called the cycle of transmigration. He says, this body which goes through pleasure and pain, we go through all kinds of pleasure, all kinds of pain, joy, laughter, you name it, all kinds of emotions this body goes through. There is enjoyment. When I say enjoyment, the term enjoyment actually doesn't mean feeling happy about the whole thing. Enjoying means going through that stage. It could be pain also. Though English terms enjoyment cannot be quoted for pain, as you can understand. But the pain and the pleasure which the body experiences, we always attribute it to the gods. We say the gods are responsible. I didn't get this money, or this never came to me, that never happened to me, I was supposed to get this position in my company, I was supposed to get these properties, why did this pandemic happen? The kind of thing that we keep on speaking, and we attribute it to gods. The gods are not responsible. Then, neither are the planets. Not only in India, but even in the Western world, people believe in the nonsense called astrology. And we believe that the planets are responsible for all the problems that we go through or all the pleasure that goes through. They will say that, oh, this particular star is in the ascendant and this is going to happen, and then something is going wrong somewhere else, and that is the reason why you're going through it. I can give reasons as many as I want. I can blame as many stars as I want. But it really doesn't matter. Because maybe 90% of the world or 80% of the world doesn't even believe in this the subject called astrology. So why blame the planets? Why blame these gods? Then he says, nor work, nor time. We blame the work that is happening. We say, this work is responsible. Because I am doing this job, there is this problem in my life. Okay? Some people will say, I was working in the hospital, and because of that, I caught the disease. COVID-19 came to me because of that. Because of that. So easily to blame the work itself. Or we say, our times are bad. This is a bad time. And the whole world is crumbling. People are selling their assets. They are living in their cars. They are living in small huts and stuff like that. We keep on blaming everything. But there are other people who are minting billions. Okay? Now, in yesterday's day, the news said that in the last 2-3 months' time, Warren Buffett made $6 billion. How is that man able to make that billions, whereas on the other side, people are losing everything? So we keep on blaming, this is the bad time. During the bad times of World War, there were countries which were literally down in the dumps are today some of the superstars. Right? Should we say that it is a bad time or a good time for them? China has become a superpower. It's because of the good time. Everybody blames and everybody says time is responsible. So Krishna, and here the Brahmana is telling us the only cause of pleasure and pain is the mind. And how this mind is the cause of this pleasure and pain, we will now study. So now, today we will begin our new chapter, new verse. We are doing Uddhava Gita, chapter 18, the last message of Sri Krishna, verse 44. It is the formidable mind that creates desires and the like. Thence proceed varieties of work such as sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. And these lead to birth of a type which is in accordance with them. So the verse seems a little bit twisted, so let me break it down for you so that you can understand. This formidable mind which creates desires. So where do the desires stem from? They come from the recesses of our mind. We have inherent desires within us. And these desires can be seen even in a small child. The baby, the moment it is born, the desire to live is there. The baby has come from a very tiny jail, a small womb. Imagine hanging upside down for months together in a watery situation, and then you are not even able to eat or drink anything on your own. The mother is supplying it, and suddenly you are out in this world. The desire to survive is there in that child. So it starts breathing. Have you seen those crabs, tiny, tiny crabs, crossing over to the oceans? Have you seen those birds falling from the sky? They learn to flap their wings. Have you seen the desire in the humankind to live? Try holding a person underwater. That person will, try to come out and have that gasp of air. So the desire to live is the first one. The desire to do a lot of things in this world. Wear good clothes, have a good house, build properties, make money, look good. The body has to look good. You name it. Everything is desire based only. And these desires are coming from the mind. Please understand. The mind creates the desire. The funniest part was There was no work for the last 1 year. People were at home, work from home. Okay. After having this confinement at home, yet human beings have bought so many cars. And every vehicle manufacturer is putting out so many models you cannot even imagine. For the next 1 year also, you will not be able to go out. And yet you are buying cars. Isn't that ironical? You are buying stuff which is absolutely of no use to you. In the immediate future, you don't even know whether travel will be possible or not. In few days, maybe a couple of days ago, the government said to the airlines, now for 200 kilometers, you can make your rates 13,000 rupees, whereas earlier it was less than 3,000. 13,000 rupees for 200 kilometers of travel. So I was just joking about it, and they said, instead of going by plane, you can go by train. Nowadays the whole railway has rehauled, the whole system. Earlier there used to be the dirty carriages. Now in the last 1 year, they have gone and made beautiful carriages. They have laid thousands of kilometers of railway lines. All these railway stations are made very beautiful. They have revamped the whole system. Excellent. And they have built roads. So many things have happened. Are you going to travel? Isn't it funny? It's a desire which creates this kind of a thing. The desire to make money. Look at the rate at which Bitcoin shot up in the market. And then Elon Musk comes and says, oh, I bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoins. And then what happens? The market jumps. He says one day, oh, I am going to shift from this, messaging platform to another messaging platform. The other messaging platform suddenly becomes very hot. Desire. You look at everything, it is at the end of the day the desires which have come out of the mind. So it is the formidable mind which creates desires and the like. The like means what? Along with the desire, the power to create the object also comes. See, if you have a desire, you are going to have a plan. Let us say you have decided that I want to make millions. So, yes, there is going to be a plan for making those millions. Without a plan, you can't do anything. So you want to create a plan for making your millions. Or you want to buy a good car, So when you want to buy a good car, you are naturally going to look at all those advertisements and the different models that are released and what is the capacity and so on and so forth. Various parameters are there. You will try to study these parameters to understand which is the car that I want to buy. So you're going to make a plan for it. Not necessarily that you're going to make that whole thing come true right itself, but maybe you will wait till the year end. The financial year end is March, Let me buy at the end of March so that I can claim depreciation. This is the way how people look at it. So he buys, he's already creating a plan. The human being creates a plan for buying. And then he thinks that maybe I will go for financing. So what are the financing options? So there is a lot of homework that he does. All these concoctions are the creations of mind. In the last 1 week itself, how many people have declared their love? And especially, today being the Valentine's Day, people are going to want to do the celebration of Valentine's Day. Yesterday, I was out there in the marketplace and I must have collected at least 3 bouquets of roses. For what? I don't know. I am nobody's Valentine. But the problem is, still I was given that. The person said, please take, please take. So, the flowers are there out in the market. The chocolate shops were overflowing. The cake shops were overflowing. I went to a restaurant where I saw this couple. Okay? And the girl quietly removed a box of chocolates, that Rocher Ferrer or something like that. And she kept it in front of this boy. Desire. The root cause of it is desire. So in the last 1 week, so many people have announced that they are going to get married. That they have proposed and now they are going to get married. End of the day, it is still desire. Don't you see? So it is this formidable mind which creates desires and the like. Thence proceeds varieties of work such as sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Let me give you an example which I just now quoted about buying a car. Now, how do these 3 gunas come into the picture? Now remember, the desire to own a car came into the picture. The next thing is to create a plan. Look at all the models, their dimensions and their power and everything. You take into account everything. Now I need SUV, maybe an SUV. I will buy this. And now there are new models which have come in, new companies which are launching. Somebody is giving me a fantastic offer. Somebody is throwing in this music system. God knows all kinds of things they do. So now, how does this sattvic, rajasic and tamasic come into the picture? Let us try to tackle each. Tamasic. Tamasic means, I don't care. You know what? I want to own the best car in the world. SUV? Do the Range Rovers have SUVs? Yes. Maybe Mercedes-Benz? Okay. The BMWs? Of course. I will go and buy that. Here is a person who is sitting on pots of black money. And he decides to buy the upper end SUV. Upper end. By the way, he already has some 5 cars in his garage. He has got so much of money which he minted during this pandemic because he must have had a product which literally took off. Maybe the masks that were there. He made billions of masks. Okay. Or he made some kind of a drug which helps. And so he says, I will buy this car. And he goes and buys that car. The car is of no use to him. There are no good roads where he can drive. The maximum number of kilometers that he covers in a day might be hardly 2 or 3. He stays very close to his office. There is no parking space outside, so he has to park it in his garage. And yet he has gone and bought something. This is an upper end car. And he has bought it with black money. This is called tamasic. The rajasic person, his way of looking at it is, my neighbor has the 7 series. Is there anything greater than 7? I will get better than that. He has only that attitude that I want to show off. and he will tell you how much he put in so that he can do this transaction. Then he will tell you, do you know this BMW showroom person? He's a friend of mine. He's going to fly me down to Germany so that I can see my car being made. Aha. And I am using burnt orange as the color. Burnt orange as the color so that everybody burns while they see my car. Yes, and I have the latest guidance system, the latest this, the latest that. Here is a person who cannot stop praising himself. He is an egoistic and an arrogant person. And he really loves to show off. He may buy a Rolls Royce. Who is going to drive a Rolls Royce on Bangalore roads? I don't know. Or even for that matter, Mumbai roads or Delhi roads. The roads themselves are a pain. And to get a driver for that kind of a vehicle, aha. Most of these guys, they don't even have senses. No sense on the road. Nonsensical people. And you want to own a car which you are going to take out 2 times or 3 times in a year. And yet you want to put a Rolls Royce in your garage. What are you going to do? You're just trying to show off. This is Rajasic. Let us move to the Sattvic person. I want to take my family out. They didn't have the opportunity. When I had a 2-wheeler, I couldn't go out. Maybe I'll buy the lower end car, which is a kind of a family car. 5 people can sit in it, including me as a driver. So I'll go to the bank and I'll try to find out whether they can give me a loan. And such is a kind of a person who is not thinking of himself because he wants to buy the car, but he is thinking of all the other family members. Maybe he's thinking of, having his daughter must have come for delivery or whatever. So he is thinking that I will make her life more comfortable. So this one desire called buying a car has created 3 different things. Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. There are ways of looking at all these desires and what they create. Alright? And because they create this kind of a loop in the system, in every human being, this human being goes into a cycle of rebirths. How do these rebirths come about is today's session. So let us first understand. Desires are created by this formidable mind. To fulfill those desires, you have to go through these 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. And everything is desire based, so the desires by itself put you into one of those categories. Either you have a sattvic, a rajasic or a tamasic kind of a desire. So let us see. And because of it, it gives us rebirth. Now, how do these rebirths happen? If your desire is sattvic in nature, since you are thinking about the goodness of this world, maybe your wife, maybe your children, maybe some more people, maybe you are a person who drops children to school. You have a small auto rickshaw, and now you want to give comfortable transportation to school to those children. You are a auto rickshaw driver or something like that. So what you do is you go and buy a car which accommodates more children and gives them a lot of comfort. You are a sattvic person, and this is a sattvic kind of a desire to help the world. Please understand this. Your desire is to help the world. I want to build a hospital. After seeing through so many problems in this world, I want to build a hospital. So many people are going through pain, so I may make a hospice. Hospice is a place where you get rest. Or you are thinking in terms of, I will give some kind of assistance or help to the society. Very good. You are in the Sattvic Guna. Now, this is where the whole thing starts. Rebirth cycle. You bought a big car. Toyota is launching a high ace over here in India. It's a big station wagon kind of a thing. Or a nice car to take the children to school properly. Are the children repaying you back in any way? No. They were paying you a certain amount. The parents were paying you a certain amount to go to school. Right? You were ferrying them to school. And the cost of which is X. Just because you bought a big car, you're not going to charge them 2X or something like that. So you may be charging them 1,000 rupees. Later on, you're not going to charge them 1,000 rupees. You're charging them, more than 1,000 rupees. You're just charging them the same amount. The children are going in comfort. The parents are happy their children are going comfortably to school, not getting crammed in one auto rickshaw. So they are happy, the parents are happy, the children are happy. And you are happy because you are able to help, HELP. Though you have taken a financial loan and all those kind of things, but yet your goodness of heart is there. This creates rebirth. The law of karma states, every action that you perform has to be repaid back in full. Got the answer? So these children whom you are dropping to school comfortably, are they able to return the favor to you? No. They cannot return the favor to you. So in which life do you think they will return the favor? In some future life they will have to return. So because of these children and the favor that you are doing today, helping them, you will have to be reborn so that they can repay you back in the same manner. Got the answer? I will give you another example for you to understand. This is a little tricky. Just because you were having a job and there were some people who were not having a job during this last 1 year of the upheaval that happened. So you were very kind enough. The desire to help was there in you, poor fellow. You were such a big-hearted guy that you went and distributed your wealth to the people. You gave some people food to eat, you gave them money, you really went out of the way, you sent a lot of people to their home, or there is one great actor in India who keeps on coming in the news constantly saying, I helped so many people go to their houses. Yes, congratulations. And you are telling the world that you were quite generous and helpful. Have those people paid you back as per the law of karma? No. You have given them something free. In this world, there are no free lunches. Nothing comes free. You are not getting properties free. You don't become rich just like that. There is no such thing as, oh, he's so lucky he got it free. No, 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 no. There is nothing free in this world. It is always, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Got the answer? So, all these people that you gave money to during the pandemic have not repaid you back. It is your goodness which you did. Naturally, you're going to enjoy in the heavens. Because of your goodness, you're going to enjoy in the heavens. But those fellows have not returned back your money. You have spent lakhs of rupees trying to send them home, give them food, give them clothing, shelter, and so many things during the pandemic. They have to repay you back. This life they can't. Are you not guaranteeing yourself a rebirth because they have to repay you back? They have to meet you in some life of yours so that whole thing, the cycle can be completed. The transaction has to become 0-0 on both the sides. The debit and the credit has to completely finish. Which means you have to get repaid. So because of your sattvic guna, the way in which you desire created the help situation, you are going to get repaid. And you are guaranteeing, you have put your own seal of guarantee, guaranteed next life, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. In which manner? There is no way of knowing. Suppose you saved somebody during the pandemic, maybe in the future life you may become a fish. And this fellow may be a fisherman. And he takes pity on you, and instead of eating you or selling you in the marketplace, he takes you back and dumps you in the ocean once again. But aren't you born as a fish then? That's why these karmic things are very difficult to understand. Please let me assure you, nobody has understood karma the way it is actually reacting. And here Krishna is giving a small glimpse of it. So any sattvic work that you did, any sattvic desire was fulfilled, and the way you did it, it has to be completed. The cycle has to be completed. Repayments have to be done. You may wonder, why should I do this repayment? I give it free. I'll ask you a question. Who do you think you are to give free? I mean, you think of yourself some great person? I built a hospital. I gave free doses of vaccine to the poor. I. Doesn't that stink of ego? I gave. The moment you announce to the world, I gave, it is talking of your ego and arrogance. Your mind has come into play. The thought that you gave, you are just a pawn in the hand of the divine, and yet you are taking the credit that I gave. The thought itself should not come. The thought itself should not come. The formidable mind that creates desire. Anything that is done without the assistance of the mind, JLT, just like that, without even realizing that you have done, and not even claiming that you have done, is called Nishkam Karma. There is no repayment for that. But in your world, everything that you do, including drop some coins in the temple, you think about it and then drop. Oh, no. I don't want to give 200 rupees. I have a 200 rupee note. Can I get a 100 rupee change or a 50 rupee change? Do you have change it with you? Oh, give me the 50 rupee note. I will give you later on. Instead of putting 200, you have thought and you have wanted to put first 100 and then 50, and then you have put 50. Your mind has come into the picture, sir. It's called the desire. The root cause of all your problems in this world is the desire, which comes from this great enemy of yours. It's also a friend, by the way, mind. So I gave you the sattvic kind of H-E-L-P, help. You think you are helping somebody. During this pandemic, I helped so many people. Thank you very much. So you got to be repaid. Because in this world, there is always clearances of all your debits and credits. Everything has to be cleared out. Even if you are working for a company, doesn't the company want the whole thing to be paid off? Otherwise, they have to write it off. No. Why should any company write off? Today, you may be owning, a property which is mortgaged. The mortgage company is going to come and sit on top of your head. Maybe they gave you 3 months time extra. But sorry, boss, they are going to come and sit on your head. They want their full value worth. If you owe them a certain amount of money, don't they come and take it? Doesn't the income tax department do that thing also? You think the income tax department will tell you, it's okay, no problem. Because of pandemic, you can take the money. Sorry, even the government doesn't leave. You think friends will leave? You think the wife and the husband will do that? I'm sorry, look at the wife and the husband. I worked my ass off during this whole pandemic. What were you doing? I looked after 3 children. You see, I was cooking, I was doing this, I was doing that. And you were sitting with your legs on the table and then you were doing all your, Zoom calls. What is the Zoom call for a day? And then you were doing your Excel sheets and all those kind of nonsense. And every time when I told you, please help me around in the house, you said, no, I'm very busy. I am on a call. I have to sit here and look at the screen. So the wife says these words to the husband. And the wife says, even after all that thing, I still attended my calls with my company. And you lazy bone haven't done that. Do you think that this husband is not supposed to return it back? He is supposed to work. That is the whole problem. This is Rajasic. When the woman says, I really worked very hard. 3 kids roaming around all over the place. I used to take care of everything. Even the small one, I had to change the nappies and everything I have to do. And you lazy fellow, you are just sitting over there watching television, different serials and this. And your work. And you think I didn't work? I am also working for a multinational. I also was working. And the husband says, your timings are different. But sir, I was working in the night. And daytime I was looking after the house. This is Rajasic. I did it. The repayment has to be done. The husband may not be able to repay her in this life, but in the next or the next, we don't know how many lifetimes will be there when the two come together. Somehow they come together and they will have to repay it back to each other. So this man will have to become her servant in some life. Not necessarily that he is going to be human and she is going to be human. There is no way of knowing that. So if you are in the Rajasic state, the rebirth is different. A Sattvic person is born in a better family. HELP, remember? I helped the world, I built hospitals, I gave free vaccines, I gave money, I helped the children to school, blah, 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 blah. So in the next life or the next, you will become a good guy. You will be born in a better family where there is a lot of money. You don't have to sweat. Maybe you will be born spiritual and you will grow your wings and you will become a spiritually perfect person. Sattvic Guna leads you to this kind of a life. Or maybe your work was so brilliant that you have become a god. You think human beings can't become god? These demigods, these are positions, sir. These are positions like CEOs and all that. Demigods are nothing great. They are in charge of some departments. Like you have the sanitation department and this department and that department. Gods also have departments. Somebody looks after education, somebody looks after finance, somebody looks after... Have you not seen that all these gods, they have departments? Yes, there is a vacancy of assistant manager in that department. Maybe you will get that job. So because you were sattvic, you wanted to help the world and you helped it with your money. You bought them a car, you bought that van, something like that. You will get a job in the Department of Finance. The 20,000 assistant of Lakshmi. Yeah, you can become a god. This is a demigod position. It's open. Because you are sattvic, so that position is open for you. You may enjoy. As a bureaucrat, you love doing all kinds of things, So bureaucrats love their jobs. That's why they are called bureaucrats. So you think these demigods don't have bureaucrats under them? They have departments after departments. And just imagine if you come to India and you see one department, okay? Even MOD, Ministry of Defense, will have so many buildings. They will have so many people working under them, isn't it? Just the minister is one person, but under him there will be a whole big departments. Likewise, all these gods, all the demigods, they also have departments. So yes, sattvic person, that department is there, vacancy is there. You want to go there? Very good. Sanction, go. There is no return from there. Or now Rajasic. You think you are doing everybody a favor, and on top of it you are telling the whole world how good you are and all that. Rajasic Guna, the way in which you do your work from the Rajasic perspective, the desire driven world, it makes you Rajasic in nature. You wanted to show off, isn't it? Remember, you bought a Rolls Royce or you bought some fancy car to show off. Yeah. That's what is desire. So, Rajasic Guna, repayment has to be done. But the repayment to whom? All those people you wanted to make them feel jealous. The whole world was looking at your car when you came towards the signal. Wow, nice car. Those guys will have the car and you will be, in another car at that time. Oh, nice car. It's just a way of telling you how this can be done. So now think about it. This is what is there. So rebirths are necessary. But what kind of rebirth? Because you are Rajasic in nature. Number one, you will be born the poorest person on earth. Hand to mouth existence is not even the word. If there is a worst word than that, you will be born like that. Or you will get a demonical character. You will become a demon in this world. Now you will say, demons? There are no demons in this world. Of course, who do you think do all these kind of things? Huh? Did you not notice all those fellows who are fighting for nonsensical stuff in this world? They are the demons who are in the human form. There are demons also everywhere. They just want to disrupt the whole life. They want to be the, Rajasic, remember? The meanness personified are demons. Even in human beings you can see them. If you want to identify them, you can see them. Their eyes will be yellow, cockeyed, the way they look at things. Those kind of some things which Ramakrishna Paramahansa has said in his book. You can go and read it if you want to. So, the demonical character, demons. Now we come to the last one, Tamasic. You paid your black money to buy a car? Congratulations. Where did that black money come from? By squeezing people, isn't it? You made all those people who came to you and told them, I want this and I want that. Your next life and the next and the next and the next. You are going to be born as a worm, the worst kind of worm in the world. Maybe the one which is there in the carcass. The worm which eats the dead bodies, something like that. Or if you see under a rock, you will find all those worms there. rotting flesh, eating worms, those kind. Or you may be born as a Rakshasa. A demon different than Rakshasa. Rakshasa is a person who eats human beings for breakfast. So this kind of a thing. And that is what happens. So did you understand this? And these lead to births of the type which is in accordance with them. So Sattvic, the births I have described to you, human beings are born in a very good family, spiritual in nature, or gods, positions are vacant. Number 2, Rajasic, whatever that you did, you will become basically a demon. The demon is point number 1. Or you will be born in the poorest, the worst condition on earth. Maybe you will be a homeless man throughout your life. Yes, you will be an orphan in the beginning, and then you will have to change 10 houses and 20 houses, like all those kind of things. And if you are the tamasic kind, you will be born as a Rakshasa or as the worst kind of a worm. The second one has even animals and all that. Okay, so So we have come to the end of verse 44. I know it was a very interesting verse. Most of you might not have liked it. But it is your mind which creates all this. And that is why the control has to be there on the mind. So let us see verse 45. We are doing the Uddhava Gita chapter 18 verse 45. The inactive, resplendent self, the friend of the jiva, looks on from above while the mind works. The jiva, however, identifying itself with the mind, which presents the world to it, is connected with works, which belongs to the mind, and in the act of enjoying sense objects comes to be bound. Now, all that we did, the explanation in verse 44, earlier verse, desires which lead you to do certain jobs. While your mind is dictating terms to you, to your body to do those things. Do this, do that, you have to do this, you have to do that, go get this car, go do this, go make money, all those kind of things, Your mind is telling you all these things. You want a better position, you want a good looking wife, whatever that you wanted, the desire. The mind has dictated the terms to you. The mind defines exactly what you are supposed to be doing. While you are doing that, the divine God inside of you called the self, capital SELF, is watching from above. He just looks at you and he says, oh my God, this person is doing all these kind of things. Is the self different than the mind? Yes, of course. The mind is, remember those 3 bodies that we spoke of? If you don't know, you can join my satsang on Tuesday morning. I am doing the Bhagavad Gita there. There I am doing. So, 3 bodies, the gross body which you touch, feel and see. Second one is the subtle body, the mind body and the intellect and the prana. And the last one which we call as the happy body. Anandamay Kosh, causal body, the one which makes you take birth. These 3 bodies are there. The highly ignorant body, the third one. So this mind, which is not connected to the self, it is not connected to the Atma. Atma is beyond these 3 bodies, beyond the 3 bodies. That is why whatever yoga, toga, whatever that you do is not affecting your self. No, it doesn't. Remember this. Your resplendent self which is called the God inside of you. The God is not the body. Body is just a covering, is just a shell. It's like the water bottle. And you, the self, is the water inside. Got the answer? The water inside. So the self is just watching this mind take charge of everything. He says, oh my God, look at this. This mind is dictating terms. He is not even looking at me. He doesn't even want to listen to the good words that I speak so quietly. You know, we have that thing inside of us which says, don't do this, man, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And yet, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's alright. One swig is okay. One puff is okay. What am I doing? I'm just eyeing that woman. That's it. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not taking away her beauty. I'm just, okay, she looks good. Your eyes are looking at the object. The mind is doing all these jobs, and yet the self inside of you, the divine being, every person has a God in them. Remember this, isn't it? We call it the soul. All the English people call it the soul. In our world, we call it the Jivatma. So the Jivatma is just watching you. Oh, this guy's mind, oh my God, he's just getting so much involved in this thing. He's dictating terms. You have to do this, you have to do that. This has to be done like that, that has to be done like that. And so many desires, so many desires, so many desires. The inactive, resplendent mind, the self, the friend of the Jiva. He is the friend of this Jiva. The self is the friend of the Jiva. Looks on from above while the mind works. The mind is literally doing everything for the person. You have to do this, you know. You have to buy this fancy car. Looks nice, fantastic. Fantastic. Beautiful sari, beautiful clothes. Beautiful woman, look at her. Handsome guy. Oh, everybody goes on Tinder. Everybody goes. You know, that lady, she made a new app. It's like Tinder only. And that day when it was released in the marketplace, she made billions. She's the youngest billionaire today. Priyanka Chopra also owns that, particular website. Another way of getting into that. I'm not harming anybody. I'm just going for a date, It's a casual date. What difference will it make to anybody? Okay. And we don't have any kind of a hang up. It's okay. You don't like the person, you go away. Yes. It's alright. One night stand, we are not emotionally involved in it. Oh, I met her on this app. I had a one night stand. It's okay. Anyway, I never took her so seriously. She never took me seriously. It's alright. I don't care. Next week, somebody else will be there. What difference does it make? I'm like that dog on the street, Every female dog that I see, I have to run after her. That's a part of my job. See, I have to eye all these people. This is the mind talking, mind. And the self is just looking at it. Is that why you came to this big city, so that you can go around with women? And in the women's mind, what are you trying to search for? Some husband? And especially on these apps, you are trying to search for a husband? You are going to a bar so that you can meet a husband? What kind of a husband are you going to meet anyway? That guy is going to be least bothered about you. And this is how you are looking for husbands? Funny, isn't it? And the mind is having this desire to do these things. And the poor self which is inside this person is just looking at it and saying, oh my God, what to do? Why? Even if I tell this person, don't do it, but they'll still do. So, the resplendent self is a friend of the Jiva. He is actually the friend of you. You have the self inside of you, the God inside of you. He is your friend. And yet he looks at your mind, taking charge of your body, making you do things. Just one peg, it's okay, doesn't matter. Nothing is going to go wrong, man. One cigarette, one cigarette. What will be that one cigarette doing to you? Doesn't matter, no. One day off, I will just tell them, yeah, my internet was down and I couldn't log on to the Meet, all those apps that are there. My Zoom was not working. Oh, okay. That mind will tell you. Mind will give you reasoning. It gives fantastic reasoning. It will tell you that you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, she's a good looking girl. She's wearing nice clothes. Okay, there's no harm in looking at her. And the girl will say, where was I showing anything? You're telling me I was dressed badly. I was not dressed badly at all. Why can I not enter the aircraft on Zoom and all those all those channel TikTok and all? I dress in this kind of a clothes and the whole world. I have got 3 million followers. But when I went to the aircraft, they said you are not dressed properly and you have to cover your body up. I'm not doing harm to anybody. It's my body, you see. Yeah, it is your body. You are not doing harm to anybody. Of course you are not doing harm to anybody. This is where the mind is talking. You are not doing any harm to anybody. What bad have I done? I have not done anything wrong. On the contrary, I help people. You help people, of course. Yeah, I gave food to that guy. Didn't you see me? I took a packet from inside over there and I gave it to him. I just helped that person. It is the mind talking. It's the mind which created the desire. It's the mind which is telling you, you did this nicely. And this, it creates a problem. What is the problem that gets created? You get bundled software. You understand what bundled software is? Those who are there in the information technology industry will tell. And everybody who is on Zoom call know this. Because your mind has got into these desires, it is dictating terms to your body and the self which is watching you from top. Finally, the self says, what am I to do? I have this body. I have to maybe survive in this body. So it gets attached to this body. The jiva, however, identifying itself with the mind, this jiva, which is such a resplendent one, it starts saying, I am in this body, I am in this body, I am in this body now. The body is my responsibility. This body is my responsibility. Because the mind has taken over, the jiva, the self, starts identifying with this horrible body of yours. And then anything goes. It will tell you, you have not done anything wrong. You have done everything good. You helped people. And you are doing this because you have gone through hell in your life. You see, you have gone through hell, so now you can give hell to other people. You can call them names, you can say whatever you want to. So this particular jiva, he becomes one with that body, that mind. He is connected with works which belong to the mind, and in the act of enjoying sense object comes to be bound. So this jivatma becomes one with this mind, body, that whole thing that you have. All those 3 bodies of yours, 5 sheets of yours. This Atma considers it now, I have to be with this person. It is God Almighty. This Jivatma is nothing but an essence of the divine. And this essence of the divine says, I am not divine. I have to help this body now. So I have become one with this body. So now it's a bundled software for rebirths in your next life, in your next life, in your next life, in your next life, and it goes on. So this Atma gets trapped in this body concoction of yours. This whole thing called the body. It becomes one with it. Because now there is no escape. The divinity inside that body is dead. The divinity inside thinks, I am a human being. I am a human being. All because of the mind, you become absolutely a crass human being. So we have come to the end of verse 45. Next week when I start on Saturday, I will give a small recap of this verse also. So take care, have a great day, and you know what is there today. Bye.